Good morning, everyone. So let us start our lesson, a supplemental discussion. Lesson 7, fingerprint pattern recognition and interpretation. So yeah, to begin, these are the learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to explain the distinction between breach and furrow, categorize the different types of breach formation, perform this characterization on a given set of fingerprint patterns. So yeah, so we have the component parts of the fingerprint pattern. So we have the ridge surface. Is the component of the friction skin that actually forms the fingerprint impression. So ito guys, yung friction skin natin matatagpuan dito sa palm natin and on the soles of our feet. Kung titignan nyo, itong ridges and furrows, meron silang distinction. So ridges are the tiny vibration or heel-like structure found on the epidermis layer of the skin containing sweat pores. It appears as black lines with tiny dots, white dots called the pores in an ink impression. So kung dun sa ink impression daw, example, nag-roll ka ng ink sa, nag-roll ka ng ink using ink roller dun sa glass or in dun kukunin yung roll impression ng mga fingers ng isang tao. Makikita mo yung pores, ah, yung pores naman ang itsura ng white dots dun sa mga ridges. So, itong hill light or nasa taas na portion is ridges, itong color black dito, itong mga linya-linya. So, itong white naman na parang canal light, impression or depression, found between the ridges which may be compared with the low area in the tire track are called furrows. So, kung i-regulate naman natin yung furrows and ridges sa ballistics, it is same with the barrel of the firearm, yung riflings of the barrel of the firearm. Rifling is composed of the lands and grooves. Now, yung lands and grooves na yun, ang kapareho ng land is yung ridge. Yung furrows naman is yung grooves. Okay? We have the sweat pore. It is a small opening found anywhere across the ridge surface where the sweat comes out. Kung ito, titignan nyo sa picture. Ito yung tsura ng sweat pore. Kung sa mukha yan, o kaya sa mga kahit any part of our skin, sa kamay siguro, maliit lang kasi yan. Kaya lang kasi ang gamit dito is microscope or yung telephoto lens. Ginagamit siya ng camera or uh, using high magnification yung lens niya. Ito naman sa fingerprints naman na natin ito mismo, sa mga ridges. Ito yung sinasabi natin white dots na nagko-compose ng ating pores. Ito yung mga ridges natin. These are the ridges. Kung titignan nyo sa microscope. And we have the sweat duct. Itong sweat duct, kung mayroong sweat pores, mayroon ding sweat duct. Yan ang pinakaugat niya o yung passageway ng ating mga sweat na nanggagaling naman dito sa ating sweat glands, okay, that are found in the dermis layer of the skin, which is responsible for the production of sweat or the watery substance. Ito yung sweat glands. Hindi ako nagkakamali, ito yung ating eccrine gland. Basta nabasa sa dermis layer. Ano ba yung mas malalim? Epidermis ba o epidermis? Of course, the dermis. Epidermis yung outer layer. So, ridge formation, guys. Ridges begin to form on the human fetus during the 3rd to 4th months of the fetus. And sa 5th to 6th months, fully developed na siya. So, itong ibig sabihin ng ridge formation, it refers to the development of the ridges, on our friction scale. Nasasabi na sa 5, pero karamihan ng nasa libro na mababasa natin, 6 months ang fully developed na ridge formation ng ating ng isang tao. And of course, we have the dermal papillae, a finger-like projection or fold known as the dermal papilla, plural, is found in the superficial portion of the dermis. Pag sinabi natin superficial, malalim. Okay? Dermal papillae increases the strength of the connection between the epidermis and dermis, and the greater the folding, the stronger the connection. So, try to look at this illustration. Ito yung tinatawag natin dermal papillae. Ito mga to. Yung parang wave na yan. So, that's yung mga fold niya. The greater the fold, the stronger the connections on it. So, usually, ito yung epidermis natin. Ito yung sa dermis. Kung papansinin nyo, the dermal papillae is located between the dermis and the epidermis layer. So, dumako naman tayo guys sa characteristics of ridge formation. Kung sinabi natin ridge characteristics, meron tayong terminology na ginagamit dyan. Minutiae. Itong minutiae, this refers to the details or ridge structures, formations, and elements which differentiate from one fingerprint to another and which impart individuality to each print. So, meaning, itong minutiae, these are the characteristics. These are the details. Example, yung, okay, open, short ridge, bar or rod ridge, sufficient recurve, delta, core. Those are the elements or details that will help the fingerprint examiner to determine or to differentiate the to differentiate the ano ba to? To differentiate the fingerprint impressions being examined. For example, sa crime scene, mayroon silang fingerprint impression na nakuha doon. And then, meron din fingerprint impression na makukuha from the suspect or the perpetrator para sa ganun, i-match nila. Pag nag-match, hindi, ibig sabihin nun, siya talaga yung perpetrator. And identification, sus lang. Okay? Identification by fingerprints relies on pattern matching. Sabi dito, the identification of fingerprints relies on pattern matching, followed by the detection of certain ridge characteristics. So, ang ginagawa muna is pattern matching. Ano ba yung example ng pattern matching? Okay, we have the arch, loop, and whirl. Okay? Yung nasa crime scene, ang nakita nilang pattern doon is, whirl. Tapos yung nakita nila dun sa suspect is arch. Ibig sabihin, kambali na agad. So then, mag-proceed sila sa characteristics. Okay, sa characteristics naman, ito yung mga example, marami siyang incipient ridge. Ibig sabihin yung mga malnourished o yung very thin na mga ridges. So kung nakita nila dun sa isa, healthy at puro konti lang yung incipient ridge. Ibig sabihin may kono dun. In the comparison of the relative positions of this minutiae points with a reference print, usually an ink impression of a suspect's print. So, yung meron silang ginagamit na point with a reference wherein from delta to core, kailangan kung ano yung mga ridges na nabilang doon at kung ano yung itsura ng ridge, kailangan yun din ang mahanap doon sa suspect. Kasi yun ang tinatawag natin comparison. So, those are the characteristics of ridge formation. Ano yung itsura ng ridge, ano yung pattern, ano yung ridge, ano yung mga ano ba yung mga kinds of ridges or minutiae na nakalagay sa fingerprint pattern. Fingerprint. So, yun. Okay. Proceed tayo guys sa Galton details. Itong si Francis Galton, meron siyang ginawang Galton. Meron siyang system of characterization of characterizing fingerprint patterns or I mean characteristics ay fingerprint characterizing fingerprints. Sorry, ridges pala. So, meron tayong tinatawag na bifurcation. Itong bifurcation, guys, ito yung Ito yung kwan, single ridge siya, which is split into two ridges going side by side or parallel to each other. So, ito po yung example ng ating uh, bifurcation. Single ridge siya, then it splits into two ridges. Ito yung bifurcation. Ito yung nag-bifurcate sa kanya. Kaya nga bifurcation. Kaya ibig sabihin ng two, three. Ha? And ridge hook, ridge that divides to form two ridges, one connecting ridge which splits on the side is extremely shorter than the other side. So, ito yung itsura niya. Ito yung si ridge hook. Saan ang ridge hook dito? Ito siya. Ito yung hook. Okay? One connecting ridge splits at the side and extremely shorter than the other. So, shorter yung hook. Ito naman yung isang ridge dyan. So, that is considered also a bifurcation. Pero ito yung hook by ridge hook. Guys, nga pala, pag once na itong example, ito yung core, ito yung delta, tapos dito, yan, ridge yan. Okay, bifurcation. So, kung nagbilang example dito sa core, sa delta, dapat doon na yung linya. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, dapat ang bilang niyan is 4 yung ridge count niya. So, ibig sabihin, ang bifurcation, pag itong bifurcation, nadaanan siya ng imaginary line from delta to core. Kasi yung imaginary line from delta to core, yan yung point of reference yung sa pagbibilang sa ridge counting. Later on, mapag-aaralan rin yan. Pag bifurcation, 2 counts yan. If 1, 2, hindi siya as 1 count lang. 2 counts siya. Okay? Meron din naman tayong tinatawag na ridge ending. Determination of the ridge yung pagtatapos. So, this is the example of ridge ending. Okay? Ito. Ito naman yung ridge enclosure is a ridge that divides to form two ridges which then rejoin again to form a single ridge, either island, lake, or islet din ang tawag namin sa kanya. So, ito yung example niya. Either dot or bar or rod ridge ang i-enclose ng enclosure, ridge enclosure. Ito yung itsura ng ridge enclosure. Okay? Ganyan siya. And then we have the short ridge, a ridge of limited length. Pag sinabing short ridge, maliit, maiksi lang siya na ridge. Pag fragmentary ridge naman, or fragment, a ridge of extremely short length, not more than 3 millimeter. Basta pag sinabing not more than 3 mm or millimeter, that is already considered a fragmentary ridge. Understand? Okay? We have the bridge or yes, the bridge. It connects two adjacent ridges. So ito at two adjacent ridges. Yan. And we have the bridge. It connects the two adjacent ridges. That is called the bridge. Crossover naman, the interlapping of two ridges against each other. So ito siya. Parang nag-intersection. Crossover. Tawag natin dyan. Okay? This is the crossover of the two interlapping ridges. Okay, meron naman tayong tinatawag na other types of ridge formation. So we have the recurving ridge. And, okay. Ay, wait lang ah. Okay, good. Nagsasalita ako. Narinig. Kasi kanina, nag-record ako. Hindi narinig kasi ako gumamit ng headset. Itong laptop lang mahina talaga. So yun. Recurving ridge is a ridge that curves back in the direction in which it started. So kung nanggaling si Pedro dito at bumalik siya papunta doon, that is considered a recurving ridge. Ayan. Yan ay tinatawag natin recurving ridge. And we have converging ridge. Guys, two or more lines forming an angle, a ridge whose closed end is angular and serve as a point of convergence. So, ito siya. Was another ridge. Then, nag sila dito. Ay, sorry, mali. Then, nag-meet sila, creating an angle. Okay? This is the convergence, point of convergence. So, ang example nitong si converging ridge ay ito. Itong core niya. Ito ang converging ridge. Meron siyang uh, angle. Siguro mga 45 or lower than that. Kasi pag ganito naman na is, ano yan, 90, di ba? Obtuse. Pero mga 45, yeah. Hindi natin alam. Diverging ridge. Basta meron siyang angle. Converging ridge. Diverging ridge, two ridges running side by side and suddenly separating, one ridge going one way and the other ridge to the other way. So, ito po ang itsura ni divergence. Ganyan siya. Okay? Okay. Usually, itong si divergence, dito ang pinaka-point of reference para hanapin natin si delta. Ito ang delta. Sufficient recurve naman, the space between shoulders of a loop, free of any appendage or and abutting right angle. Si sufficient recurve naman, as long as wala siyang appendage, okay, or abutting right angle, ito. As long as wala siyang appendage, ito. Wala siyang appendage, wala siyang ganyan, okay, wala siyang ganun. That is sufficient recurve. Pag iisa lang siya. Pag appendage naman, ito naman yung short ridge at the top or summit of a recurve, usually at the right angle. Ito yung appendage. Okay, yung nasa sufficient, nahanapan natin siya sa taas ng sufficient recurve or sa isang recurve. Okay? I mean, hindi sufficient. Sa isang recurve. Okay? So, we have the core. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Core is the point on a ridge formation located at the center or heart of the pattern. Ito yung core. A or B. Saan ang core dyan? So, the core is letter B. Ito yung delta natin. Basta yung delta, always mahanapan natin siya dito sa type line. Itong type line natin, diverging ridge yan kasi nagkaroon siya. Now, ito yung, basta nagganto, yan ang delta. Okay? Yan yung itsura ng delta. Yan. Itong core, A or B? The answer is letter B. Ito ang magiging core natin. The ridge closest to the recurve is always the core. Kung wala naman itong dalawang to, kung wala naman ang dalawang ito, ang core natin ay ito ang magiging core. Okay? Ito naman, isa lang ang isa itong curve niya, itong recurve niya. May isang ridge, core ay meron siyang isang rod. So, ito ang automatically, ito ang magiging core natin. And ito yung delta. Then, mag-draw ka ng imaginary line. Bibilangin mo na kung ilang ridge yung mapipilang ng madadaanan nitong imaginary line. 1, 2, 3. So, we have 3 ridge count. 1, 2, 3. So, we also have 3 ridge count. I know, hindi nadaanan yung short ridge. So, 1, 2. We only have 2 ridge count. So, ganun po ang pagbibilang. Anyway, pag-aaralan nyo rin naman ito next meeting kasi pupunta tayo sa ridge counting. Pero sa ngayon, magbigay na akong advance na details. So, we have the delta or the tri-radial point. Is a point on the ridge formation at or directly in front or near the center of the divergence of the type line. So, near the center of the divergence. Ito yung sinasabi ko ngayon ng divergence. Okay? The delta is located near or in the front, okay, or in the center of the type line. So, yun ang inyong reference. And we have the rod or bar. It's a single ending ridge at the center of a recurved ridge of a loop pattern. Okay, a loop pattern. It is a set located single ending ridge. Okay. Okay, ito yung tinatawag natin rod or bar. So, may example, dalawa. Isang maiksi, isang mahaba. Ito, itong dalawa, rod or bar pa rin yan. Kaya lang, ang magiging force sa kanila is yung pinakamalapit sa loop or the recurve. So, that's it. Envelope is a single recurving ridge enclosing one or more rods or bars. Okay, envelope. Parang parehas lang siya sa enclosure or island. I have the staple single recurving ridge at the center of the pattern area. Itong pattern area natin, ito, sa center ng pattern area, yan yung staple. Okay? Balik tayo. We have the creases. Are thin, usually straight, narrow, white lines. Yes. May shortcut natin. Kung titignan nyo, ito yung creases. Itong mga white na yan. Yan. Itong mga yan yung nag-i-interrupt or nagdi-distract sa ating ridges. Kasi kung meron yan maraming ganyan, pwedeng mag-cause siya ng confusion o kaya mahirap basahin yung fingerprint natin. Kasi nga, sobrang dami ng creases, mahihirapan ka magbilang. Kasi baka mapagkamalan mo pang crease yan. Yung creases, ang cause ng creases, yung parang ring-wrinkle yan sa fingers natin. For example, itong finger natin, tignan nyo. Meron yung mga horizontal line or longitudinal lines na makikita. Wherein, mga basta linya-linya siya. Ang epekto niyan, pag sa fingerprint, medyo mahirapan ka sa pagbabasa ng fingerprint pag meron niya. And incipient or nascent ridge, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina ng palmo ridge or very thin na short ridges. Ito, example niya. Ito. Yan mga yan. Yan yung mga, yan. Yan yung mga tinatawag na incipient or nascent ridge. This is a kind of ridge which is badly formed, thin, short, or broken, which appears in the depressions between two well-formed ridges. So, dumako naman tayo sa ating pattern area. We have the focal points of fingerprint pattern. Itong focal point na tinatawag natin are enclosed within the pattern area. So, ito yung ating focal point. Okay? Ito yung ating focal point. Ito yung focal point natin. Enclosed within the pattern area. Itong pattern area is that part of a loop or a whirl in which appear the core, delta, and ridges used in the classification of loop. The pattern area is the only part of the finger impression with which we are concerned regarding interpretation and classification. Only part of the fingerprint impression with which we are concerned regarding interpretation and classification. Interpretation, ano yung itsura no? Ano ba yan? Classification niya. Whirl ba yan? Arch ba yan? Or loop? Kung loop yan, anong kind ng loop? The pattern areas or loop of loops and whirls are enclosed by type lines. Loops and whirls are enclosed with type lines. Ang tinatawag natin type lines, the innermost ridge which starts or go parallel, diverge, and tend to surround the pattern area when there is a definite break in a type line, ridge immediately outside of it is considered as its continuation. So, ito yung ginagamit natin type line. Okay? Ito. Nag-diverge sila. Basta guys, itong type line, itong mga malalaking block na lines. This is the type line. Okay? Ito yung timeline natin. Ang tanong, are timelines always consisting of two continuous ridges? The answer is no. Pipelines are not always two continuous ridges. Sinabing two continuous ridges, yung parang kanina. O, two na ganyan, o, na continuous ridges. Yan, yan. Pero hindi lagi. Karamihan pala, when there is a definite break in the pipeline, the ridge immediately outside of it is considered as continuation. Ito, example lang, sinasabi ko kanina. Diba dapat ito diretso? Pero meron pa doon. Tapos meron pa doon. So, kung ano yung mga ridges na nasa loob niyan, at kung ano yung ito, di ba, ito, consider nyo sana part yan. Tapos ito, these are considered continuation ng pipeline natin kahit pa nag-break sila. Continuation pa rin ng pipeline yan. Kasi hindi daw lahat ng pipeline ay continuous. Like this na continuous. Sa illustration lang kasi yan. Pero maramihan pala ng pipelines, medyo break. Yes. Sometimes pipelines may be very short. Care must be exercised in their location. So, kailangan careful tayo sa pag-interpret, ay pag-determine kasi baka magkamali tayo. Okay, note, when locating pipelines, it is necessary to keep in mind the distinction between a divergence and a bifurcation. So, sa pinagkaiba ng bifurcation sa divergence, doon sa divergence, parallel siya na magsiseparate. While sa bifurcation, single ridge siya pero magsiseparate siya at the end. Okay, ganun ang pinagkaiba nila. Sana all. Okay, a bifurcation is the forking or dividing of one line into two or more branches. Bifurcation. Into two lang yan kasi bifurcation dalawa. Pag more pa yan, magiging trifurcation na siya. Okay? Itong sa divergence, pag ganito siya. Dati na silang magkahiwalay pero parallel sila on the other side. Ito naman, single siya kaya lang nag-kuhan siya. Parallel din siya pero nag-split. Okay? Ganun pinagkaiba. And now, exemption natin. When the fork run parallel after bifurcating and then diverge, it is in such case the two forks become the two innermost ridge required by the definition. Example nito, kung ito daw, itong bifurcation daw, naging parallel siya like this, exemption yan. Magiging siya na yung pinaka-innermost o yun siya yung considered na type line. Okay? I mean, siya yung magiging considered na type line. And itong dot reach na to, dot, ito yung magiging considered natin na delta. Ito yung core. Okay? In the left figure, ito, left figure, ito pala. Ito yung kanina. Ito yung kanina pala, sorry ito. In the left figure, the bifurcation can be used as delta since it splits early. Okay? Ito. It splits early. Ganun na siya. Okay? Run parallel then diverge surrounding the pattern area while the figure on the right does not confer with the exception. So, ito yung magiging delta nun. Ito yung magiging delta. Okay? Ito, hindi ito magiging delta. Ito, hindi ito magiging delta kundi yun. In this figure, right, ridge A and B are two separate ridge which converge. Itong si A and B. Ito yung ridge A and then itong si ridge B, nag-converge sila. They form a converging ridge. Only C and D are diverging ridge. Therefore, it cannot be used as pair of other type line because the requirement must be two diverging ridge. C and D lamang ang magiging type line natin dyan. Ayan, pwede paging type line. Okay? Remember this, angles are never formed by a single ridge, but by the abutting of one ridge against the other. Therefore, an angular formation cannot be used as a type line. Additional comparison points. Creases and flexure. Itong creases natin na define na natin kanina. Itong flexure lines, ito, tingnan nyo itong fingerprint, itong finger ko. Itong mga linya-linya dyan, yan, permanent lines sila. That's it. Yes, permanent crease yan in the skin at the knuckles. Ito, flexure lines din yan. Ito, pati yan mga yan. Okay? When the fingerprint is extended, ito, example lang, fingerprint, ay flexure line. Okay? Okay. Pati ito mga yan, flexure line yan. Permanent sila. Okay, we have the causes of ridge destruction. Kung manual labor, yung mga nagtatrabaho sa semento, plaster, line, na-destruct kasi yung mga ridges natin dyan. Pero hindi bin sabihin na mawawala. Disease person, yung namamatay siyempre, na-decompose, warts, yung mga kalyo, creases, impressions appear as white lines crossing the ridges, scars, burns, yun yung mga nakaka-destruct ng ating destruction and many more. So, pumunta naman tayo guys dun sa inyong doon naman tayo guys sa inyong tawag nito requirement. Doon sa requirement nyo pala, ang gagawin nyo doon is use red ball pen. Itong ginawa ng instructor nyo last time. Bina natin. Okay? Okay. Essay, enumerate 5 causes of ridge destruction and discuss each. So, alam niyo na yan. Causes ng ridge destruction and discuss niyo kung bakit nakaka-destruction ng ridge. Distinguish flexure from creases. Okay, activity number 2, identify the following pattern area, retrace it using a red ball pen. So, type lines, creases, and flexure. So, ang i-define nyo dito guys is itong type line and creases and flexure. So, ang gagawin nyo, itatapat nyo itong papel, or pwede naman ito na mismo ang i-retrace nyo ng red ball pen para makita natin. I-identify nyo lang kung saan yung mga creases dito, kung saan yung mga flexure line, kung saan yung type lines. Kung saan yung type line dito, hanapin nyo lang. Ito, kung saan yung type line, ito ba? Yan ba? So, yun nga. Tinuro ko na, pero nasa inyo kung susunod yung tinuro ko. So, use red ball pen. Pwede ito. Kaya gamit kayo ng papel, ilagay nyo, itapat nyo, i-retrace nyo. Ito namang si activity number 3, identify 10 ridges, 10 ridge characteristics for each fingerprint pattern using red ball pen. Draw an arrow to point out the ridges. So, maggamit kayo ng red ball pen para mag-draw kayo ng arrow. For example, ito, eyelet yan, island. Ito, example, okay, bifurcation. Example, delta. Yan yung core. Ano to? Arch to. O, saan yung bifurcation yan? O, ito, island. O, eyelet to, envelope, or island. O, yan. Mag-arrow lang kayo then isurat nyo kung ano yung mga characteristics, yung pangalan dito. Then, following, yung example, bifurcation. Okay, draw an arrow, red ball pen. Use red ball pen, then i-draw nyo kung saan yung bifurcation. Okay, 1, bifurcation. Okay, yan, bifurcation. Ma-refer kayo dito. Ito yung mga, bifurcation, reach hook, ending, radial closure, short reach, fragmentary reach, diverging, converging, recurving, appendage, core, delta, hindi kayo mawawalan, madami yan. So, yun ang gagawin nyo dito sa uh, activities nyo. Kung may katanungan pa kayo, just message sa messenger. So, thank you guys. Good luck.